Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Sitaya Pataye Namaha Sitaya Pataye Namaha. So we saw yesterday that in Adbhut Ramayan that how here Bhardwaj Muni is explaining and Valmiki ji is writing. And what are they writing about? About the knowledge being given by Sri Ram to Hanumanji, and it is about Sankhya Yoga, and we are at a point where that one reality alone is expressing as the individual Purushas. One has bifurcated into many, just like one water has bifurcated into many waves, just like one woman has bifurcated into many roles. Exactly, nothing is lost, nothing is gained. If you get identified, then all the problem begins. And that's the whole point that the Sri Ram is putting across to Hanumanji. Does Hanumanji need to know? I don't think so. But time pass करना है तो सत्संग चलती रहती है. So he says that Purusha, which is expressing through the body, meaning Purusha means the person. Who is the person? Are you the person who is husband, wife, brother, sister? Or are you the person who is the body, breath, mind, intellect? Or are you the person who is the soul? Are you the person which is the ego? Are you the person who is a part of God, or are you the person who is of the nature of consciousness? You have to decide that. Nobody can decide for you. Scriptures are again bringing you again and again to your original self, which is you are the conscious one. But we get lost in all of the others. And one day, if this knowledge is falling on your ears, one day it might by grace click that, why unnecessarily I am making my life difficult. So that Purusha is also called as Prana, and as just like you take different roles, the role that you take with your husband is not the role which you take with your child. The role which you take with your child is not the role which you take with your mother, isn't it? Absolutely different roles, exactly the same way. But you are the same person. Exactly the same way, the same consciousness expresses as prana to vitalize this body. It becomes the power. And in this way, it is also none other than the Maheshwar, meaning it is none other than the great Lord Shiva, who is... so now what has happened? The Paramatma is alone the Atma, the Purusha. That Atma and or Purusha alone is the Pran which is vitalizing the body. And all these three or any one of them is also called none other, they are not other than the Maheshwar or the Supreme Being. Maheshwar means what? Maha-Ishwar. Maha-Ishwar means Maheshwar. Okay. So here it continues. Sakalagnis tadavyaktam sadhyo vedayati shrutihi. Kasmad vijayate vishvam atraiva praviliyate. The hymns of the Vedas assert that this conscious principle itself is the Kalagni, which destroys everything. And Kalagni means when Davanalagni. You heard of Davanalagni? When Arjuna burned the fire. If you are not in the right time, if you are here in May and June in Himalayas, sometimes you have to change the route because suddenly there is a forest fire because of the heat. And ये छोटा सा है नहीं, very quickly it spreads. And you have to go another 300 kilometers to 100 kilometers. Bushfire. अपने ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी वैसे ही होता है. So that is Davanalagni. So similarly, this is Kalagni. And Kalagni, what is the difference between Davanalagni and Kalagni? Davanalagni is for the forest. Kalagni is for, it destroys the time, means it is the death itself. It alone expresses as the Kalagni, and then it is this Atma, this pure consciousness that we are, this Prana, not Prana, as the Purusha that we are, it has got no attributes. Now you keep applying it on yourself. You think you are a man, you are a woman, you think you are a beautiful or ugly, you think you are smart or buddhu, you think you are whatever. I will not add more adjectives. That is enough. So here it is saying, Ramchandraji is telling Hanumanji, and through Hanumanji he is telling us what? That it is indivisible, it has got no attributes. That means Atma has got no qualities. So अपने आप को, now you start accepting yourself like that you are without quality. Then the consequence, we will tell you what will happen as a result of that. And it is beyond, what is called? No. Huh? No. It is beyond the vacha and beyond the mind. The Taittiriya Upanishad says, what does it say? You remember? That it cannot be comprehended by the mind, and it is not a subject of discussion or illumination by the speech. So I can say Smita or Sangeeta or table. So my speech is illuminating. It is bringing out what is there and you can see it. But when I say Atma, you cannot see it. When I say God, just God, suddenly, it depends upon where you are sitting, whatever your Ishta Devata is, that God will come in front of your eyes. If I say Ganapati, immediately the picture comes. The word has triggered to bring something to your experience. But when I say Atma, Paramatma, space, nothing comes in front of our eyes. So therefore, this, as much as space is not, we have the word space because we are seeing that there are two objects and there is absence between. But space is not an object. And even more so, the Atma is not an object of the speech to talk about. So it is beyond the speech and it is beyond perception and it is beyond the mind. And this Atma is that from which the whole world is created, the whole world is maintained, and the whole world is dissolved in this Atma. And that Atma you are. Too much responsibility. All these wars also I am. All this ugliness in the world I am. Yes. So just like out of water, all the multitudes of past, present and future waves have come out. Some are gentle, some are destructive, some are, pushing the other waves to the beach, and they must be complaining. But where is the source? Water. Where is the power in the wave to move coming? From the water only. But from water's point of view, what is taking place? Nothing. Exactly the same way, from your point of view, from consciousness point of view, out of you, this morning you woke up, out of you the whole creation came, in your mind. In your consciousness, the whole creation will be maintained for the whole day. And in your consciousness, the whole creation, called the waking world or the dream world, will collapse back. And yesterday also the same thing happened. The three states came and went. The day before also the three states came and went. So which means you are other than the three states. Don't accept yourself only as the waker, or only as the sleeper, or only as the dreamer. But even out of those three, we are given more importance to the waker. So pilgrimage is happening in the waking. Someone said that they were having a dubki in the Gangaji already in the dream. We haven't even reached there. तो वो ड्रीम में हो जाता है, क्योंकि the experience is so intense, so memory comes about. Where? In the mind, not in the Atma. So where is this reel being played? In the mind. And what is mind essentially? Huh? Pure consciousness. Mind is nothing but pure consciousness. Mind without thoughts is Atma. Atma with thoughts is mind. Consciousness with thoughts is mind. So, wife with respect, man with respect to wife, with reference to wife, is husband. When there is no reference, then what is he? Man. Exactly the same way. Consciousness with reference to thoughts within its womb is called as mind. When there are no thoughts, it is called as consciousness. Clear? Simple?
Swamiji, I have a doubt. When you said mind, pure consciousness, a lot of times we say that mind is a monkey mind and the mind is...
वो सब बच्चों के लिए. Why it is true that mind is a monkey mind? Why? Because it keeps coming and keeps... The thoughts are continuously moving, isn't it? That is the nature. They cannot... Are your thoughts staying with the topic that is going on? Or are they were thinking of suddenly a memory thought that somewhere I heard that mind is a monkey mind and I must ask this question. So distraction ho gaya. Rather than, I'm just not pointing you out, but rather than finding the answer inside, immediately you blurted it. तो अंदर ढूंढो क्यों? तो ऐसे हमारा mind, sometimes it is seeing, sometimes it is hearing, sometimes it is tasting, sometimes it is feeling, sometimes it is imagining, sometimes it is thinking, sometimes it is happy, sometimes it is joyful. All these are nothing but thoughts. So even while I'm talking, so many words are coming out. Each word is different to the previous one. As my eyes are scanning, every time they see her, this form is different to this form is different. That is the monkey mind. Okay? Because it's not able to stay. The only way that the monkey mind will be able to become stable and become civilized from monkey to is when it focuses on the divinity. And that divinity can be God, Ishvara, or it can be Atma Chintan. That is the only place. And the other place, which is temporary for it to settle down, is sleep. In sleep also, you are one with your consciousness. But you don't know it. So here, the teacher is saying, Kasmat Vijayate Vishwam. Vishwam is the universe, the creation. Atraiva Praviliyate. So Kasmat Vijayate. Vijayate means to be born. and praviliyate means to vileen ho jana, to dissolve back into. And where does all this happen? In the Atma Tattva itself. Mayavi Mayaya Baddha Karoti Vividhastanuhu Na Chapyayam Sansarati Na Cha Sansarayet Prabhu. It is the Atma that gets tied to the shackles created by the Maya. So this Maya is the force, it is the Shakti, just like sun alone is expressing a sunlight. It is not separate to the sun, isn't it? Can you separate the two? No. Can you separate Radha and Krishna? No. So Radha is his potentiality and Krishna is the potential. Similarly, can you separate yourself from your mind? Can you separate the vision from the illumination? No. So one without the both of them at the worldly level, both of them coexist. Can you separate day and night? Cannot. They are together. So day and night is absolutely different. I'm here trying to bring the point that the sun and his potential. Can you stop the waves from appearing on the ocean? Cannot. So the potential of the waters in the ocean is to express as waves, and it will continue happen. Sometimes the wave will manifest, sometimes the wave will unmanifest. Similarly, the sunlight is continuously manifesting, that is his energy, but sunlight is also colorless. Only when we come to the earthly plane, then we see its expression as day and night. And this is continuously going on. You cannot stop it. Similarly, you cannot stop the waves. Similarly, you cannot stop the waking dream and deep sleep also. They will continue. Only point is we must not get lost in them. Similarly, don't get lost even in seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, thinking, imagining, convincing. Don't get lost in anything. All that is automatically taking place by the force of the Shakti. Another word for her is Maya. Another word for her is Sita, Lakshmi, Parvati, all different names for the same Shakti. And when she is the destroyer, she is called as Kali. You saw her yesterday. And so all the forms that you are seeing are on account of the Shakti of the Atma or the Paramatma. But does the Atma do anything? No, Atma does not do anything. So here it says, na cha api ayam sansarati, na cha sansarayet prabhu. So in fact, it never moves on its own. It is steady, stable, and it is still and unwavering. Who? The Atma. Think very coolly. Your eyes are illuminating the world. My eyes are watching everything. Is my vision getting attached to anything here? Continuously the colors and forms are coming and going. Is my nose getting attached to, no, I loved the breathing in, I'm not going to breathe out. Does it do that? Or I love breathing out, I don't want to breathe in. Does it do that? So continuously the nose is in the nose, the breath in, breath out is happening. In front of the eyes, all the colors and forms are coming and going, and there is no attachment. It's just a phenomena going on. Just like waking dream and deep sleep, every day they are coming and going. The phenomena is going on. You are not attached to it. Similarly, mind is not attached to the thoughts also. Continuously the thoughts are coming, the thoughts are going, mind is just there. It's the container. Go further back, the Atma is unconcerned by what is expressing, what is not expressing, and what is unmanifesting and manifesting. So here it is told that Atma, which is watching all this, in whose presence all this is going on, all the data that I just gave you, that is the stable one, that is the unmoving one. And that is why in the beginning of Adbhut Ramayana, if you remember, those who heard, that Sita ji said, Ramchandra ji doesn't do anything. I make him do. I made him to take birth. I made him grow up. I made him study the scriptures. I made him confused. Then he got Yoga Vashishta. Then I made him to come. Everything. And the Atma is the non-doer. So who makes that Atma appear as moving? It is the Shakti. See? So catch this about yourself now. So if that is true about the Atma, that is true about this Maya Shakti, which is making the sun move from the east of the sky to the west of the sky. But does the sun move? But what are you watching? What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? Or the mind is experiencing? There is movement, there is sunrise, there is sunset, but sun does not move. So it's a complete illusion. Agree? Exactly the same way. Waking, dream and deep sleep is also an illusion. Which means in the waking, all the experiences that you are having, that is going to Chardham, is also an illusion. Accept it. When it has to click, it will click. But first accept it. That all this is the play of the Shakti, play of the Maya. So instead of seeing that one Atma or one divinity everywhere, we are seeing the forms. And forms are illusions. We get identified with forms. Correct? And then we become miserable. Last time Prashila was here, she had a love with her form called purse. And we were in Hari ki Paudi, and that lovely form called purse was stolen. But wonderful. She didn't worry because Raj was there. So gaya, but luckily not much was there. But if uske andar ornaments hote, kuch hota, to drama ho jata. Rudraksh was there, but see, it came, it went. The nature of form is to be manifested and then unmanifest. And where do you see form? In this creation. Creation is nothing but form, isn't it? Color and form, name and form. It comes and it goes. So don't become too serious about it. Don't become serious about what? मेरी सीट ले ली बस में. Don't become too serious if this body is getting tired. ठीक है, it is its nature, nothing to worry about. जुखाम आ गया थोड़ा, if you're getting a bit of fever, ठीक है, be watchful, that's all. Don't react. If you react, you get identified. If you give it value and attention and importance, you get identified with that form. Just like you are identified with your children, you are identified with your partners, you are identified with your parents. And then who is becoming miserable? Someone is becoming miserable. The one who got identified is becoming miserable. But what is the smarter way? Here Ramchandra ji is showing everything is that one divinity. Remain watchful, remain alert, remain in the center, remain. अभी मैं लंदन में था. In London, I was there in Nepali family's house. So they had organized a satsang, and all few kids, 5-6 kids, some in their early 20s, 2-3 in their early 20s, and rest adults. So these क्या करेंगे. Suddenly the young 6-year-old, she is asking me questions. तो मैंने कहा स्वामी जी हैप्पी दशहरा. तो सब कुछ देख रहे हैं, सब मेरी शक्ल देख रहे हैं कि स्वामी जी कुछ बोलेंगे, मेरे को कोई ट्रिगर चाहिए. तो शी गेव मी स्वामी जी हैप्पी दशहरा. एंड एवरी टाइम आई गो, लास्ट ईयर आई वेंट एंड दिस ईयर एकदम से आके हक कर लेती है. उसकी डीपी डाली है मैंने व्हाट्सएप पे. तो शी से सो मैंने गेम खेलना शुरू कर दिया विद ऑल द किड्स. एंड आई सेड एडल्ट्स यू कैन ऑल्सो ज्वाइन. एंड व्हाट वाज द गेम? आई सेड ओके टेल मी who is Ravana, and what, he's a bad guy. So what can a child say? So I said, okay, tell me, what is what do the Ravana's 10 heads represent? I think I asked that question yesterday or day before. So they answered. बहुत थोड़ी देर तक चलता रहा ये वो, जैसे आप बोल रहे थे ना, काम क्रोध लोभ, but that does not make it 10. That shadu, that is only 6 of them. So what is 10 then? So it is panch karma, gyanendriyas and panch karmendriyas. Seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, and speech, hands, legs, genitals, and anus. So these make it 10. The one who is influenced by these 10 is Ravan. The one who is under their influence, under their slavery, is Ravan. See, it could be only one of them also. So he was master. That's why he was Trilokapati. He had won the 3 worlds. Those 3 worlds are nothing but waking, dream, and deep sleep. But somewhere there is some lack, and he's still attached to his body. So ये सब चल रहा था drama, and then eventually the topic came. So okay, is there a Ravana inside of you? No, Swamiji, we burn the Ravana, we do this. I said, no, are you? So that small kid and the other kids, they were fully participating. Then adults also started, and slowly we discovered that that everyone has a Ravana inside. So if we are under the influence of our 10 senses, then we are Ravana. And if we are not under the influence, then we are not Ravana. But the question is, how do we not become influenced by these 10 senses? How do we not become influenced? One thing I can tell you can remain witness, but everyone, that kid will not understand. That kid will not understand how to not get influenced. तो उसको बताया, मैंने कहा, अच्छा तू बता, when you like something and mummy doesn't give you, then what happens? She says, I become disturbed. I said, Asha, then what happens? So someone else must have I get angry. Okay, so if you like something, you become angry. Or you have a desire. And if your desire is not fulfilled, then you become angry. If you dislike something, then what happens? That if you don't like some friend of yours and that person comes, come let's play, and you don't want to go with that person, then what will you do? No, I don't know what I will do that time. Okay. So there is a reaction. Yeah. So I said, now the one who reacts, बच्चे को क्या बोलेंगे ना? I said, the one who reacts is Ravana. And why he reacts? Because he has got likes and dislikes. So naturally the next question is, who is Ram? What will be the answer? The one who does not react, the one who is ever in the center, the one who does not create likes and dislikes in life. And I made throughout the dinner everything, उसको कम से कम नहीं तो 10-15 times, every time something, अच्छा, how will Ram express? And she has to say. 10-15 times. Because last year I went, she must have asked something. I told her, learn the verse number 10 to 30 in Bhagavad Gita 2. 5-year-old last year. She learned 10 of them. She was waiting. And जैसे मैं बैठा, हाँ स्वामी जी, start. और वो तो तोतलेपन को क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में, क्या बोलते हैं? स्टटरिंग, with not very clear, but Dharma सबका बोल के wonderful. So same lesson goes to us. Don't create likes and dislikes. Shoulder pain is there, no dislike. Body का काम है, body will go through pain and health. Mind will go through whatever it has to go through. You keep watching everything rather than getting influenced by anything. You get influenced only if you give value to it, importance to it. So don't give importance. Then what do we give importance to? To Atma. Oh, but I can't see Atma. Then naam jap karte raho. Keep taking the name of the Lord. That is the way to connect and he will deliver you there. So in this way, so this Atma never, chalo conclude karte hain. It never moves on its own. It is steady, it is stable, it is still, it is unwavering, and neither can anyone ever make it move because it is by nature it is peaceful, by nature it is tranquil, by nature it is enlightened, by nature it is all pervasive, etc., etc. In this way, then the verses go into Nayam Prithvi na Salilam na Teja Pavano na Baha na Prano na Mano Vyaktam na Shabda Sparsha Evacha. Now the topic gets into that this Atma, this is the classic thing that Neti Neti. The Shankaracharya Paddhati or the Vedantic Paddhati is first you have to determine, as we just determined, that what I am not. Because Atma cannot be talked about. When we say space, what is the definition of space, you know? Have you ever seen space? You have seen objects, you have seen planets, you have seen galaxies, but have you seen space? So I see these two people. I can see the form, but can I see space? Because there are two forms, I say there must be space in between. Why? Scriptures have told us, elders have told us, society has told us, isn't it? But there's no object called space. Similarly, when I look at the whole universe, where is the whole universe existing? In the space. ज़्यादा realize हो गए. Straight to the source, in the mind. Correct. In the space. So the definition of space is, according to scriptures, that which accommodates. That which accommodates is space. So there is now it will come to you. There is a outside space, there is a mental space, and there is a conscious space. So the outside universe is contained in the outside space. The outside space and the whole universe is contained in the mental space. Mental space. Because in the dream, where does the space come from? It's in your mind. The whole universe is there in your mind. If you have to remember someone in this world, where will you remember? In your mind only. See, the outside world is only a memory, only a thought which appears in your mind. And why? And the whole, if you want to suck it into one point, the whole universe, it is existing in space. If there is no space, there is no universe, isn't it? Then where is the mental space existing? Next question. It is existing, or it's a part and parcel of the conscious space. Just like the wave is part and parcel of the ocean, total waters, and total waters are part of the infinite waters, because there are many oceans. So that one water alone is expressing as total waters, gods, and individual waves, the objects of the universe. So in this manner, if you understand this, now we are going, Ramchandraji is explaining how this Atma, you cannot talk about this Atma is this or that, because there are no attributes. You can't even call it Satchidanand Swarup. But we are told, till now we are talking positive about it, that it is stable, that it is conscious, it is all pervading, it is all knowledge, etc. But now it goes into that it is not, what does it say here? So it says that it is not the earth, it is not the water, it is not the wind. Prithvi is the Salilam, Teja, Pavano, Nabaha, all the five elements. It's not the pranas, it's not na manaha, nor the mind. Manaha vyaktam na shabdaha. It is not even the manifest, or it's not even the word, it's not even the various senses, five senses. So they just used two sparsha and shabda. Shabda is representing representing the karmendriyas, and sparsha is representing the jnanendriyas. So it's none of these, and yet without it they cannot express. So in this way, now here one example is taken, and that is just like a tree is standing. Yesterday we were sitting under a tree. Where we were sitting? In the shadow of the tree. Why you are able to see the shadow? I'm asking. Why you are able to see the shadow? Because of? Because there was a sun behind the tree. So you are seeing the tree in the light of the sun. You are having a shadow. Tree does not have a shadow. Only because there is a sun, there is a shadow. Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way it is functioning in us also. When you are walking around, you are seeing a shadow of yours. Why is it? Is it your shadow? You say it is my shadow. But wrong conclusion. The sun is projecting that shadow because you are obstructing its light. See? So similarly, wherever we identify within our mind, that is an obstruction. And what is obstruction in other words? Sin. हम उस sin को हम जो नहीं है, that which is not there, we are trying to do punya, pujas, तीर्थ यात्रास, प्रवचन to purify. बेवकूफ को दुनिया को बेवकूफ बना रहा है. But you can either say it that way, that it is not possible, or you can say that everything, Brahmarpanam Brahma, the Lord is playing with himself. That is the better vision, isn't it? We'll talk more about it in our next class. Think about this. Don't lose yourself in the world. Remain in the poise. You are the divinity that you are seeking. You are the Ganga ji, the Yamuna ji, the Kedarnath, the Badrinath, the Kailash, the Haridwar. Everything is here within you. Haridwar कहाँ पे है? यहाँ पे है. Heart chakra is Haridwar. Entry. This is Kashi. The third eye is the Kashi. This is the Kailash. The whole universe. आपने तो सुना ही होगा जब हम when you do puja, पुजारी, when we do puja, अंगन्यास करते हैं, तो this is the sun, this is the moon, these are the Ashwini Kumars, this is the Pavana Devata, this is the Shiva, the feet are the Vishnu, the hands are the Indra, and the mind, the Lord of the mind is also Indra. So like that, every god in this universe is represented in this microcosm called the body. So that universe is not outside. It's here. But don't take that I am the universe. If you say I am the universe, अहंकार बढ़ेगा. फिर क्या करना है? The Lord in me is expressing as the Lord, as the universe outside. Expand your consciousness. With this we will leave it here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om everyone.